Hi, Mark. Here's a picture of a test validation summary. The most important element is this line. This is the, I forget what we call it. I forget what we call it, some sort of line. But this is the false positive rate of some test, and this is the true positive rate, and you connect those values with this line, and that's the characteristic of a score. Actually, in this case, it would be proportion positive rate memory test less than 9, a particular score, cut score. Okay, that's what you need to start with. Once you start with the information of the false positive rate and the true positive rate, then these lines get drawn automatically. They're just algebraically connected to the line. This is the positive predictive power. This is the negative predictive power. Now, you have a situation where you observe the rate of positive scores. Here, the rate of positive rate 15-item test less than 9 in this sample was 11.3%. So you just find that, and you come across here. You go down to find the base rate. In this case, I think it's 16%. And what you say is, at 16% base rate, when the false positive rate is such and so and the true positive rate is such and so, then the positive predictive power is 0.814, just taken off that line, drawn straight up at 16. All right, so if you have a positive score and the base rate is 16%, then your 81% chance of faking, and the negative predictive power is 92.3%, or if you have a negative score, the likelihood you're not faking is 92, but that also means if you have a negative score, the likelihood you are faking is 7.7%. Now, let's just go here. Here's a test validation summary. Okay, so here let's say our true positive rate was like that, 0.05 something, and the false positive rate was something like that. And let's see if we have the. I'm just trying to get close to the same situation, but I can't. So, look, in this column is the proportion positive score. So let's say you have 20% positive. You're on this line here. And that says, in this situation, when the false positive rate is 5%, the true positive rate is 54%, and you observe a proportion of positive scores of 20%, the base rate is 31%, and at 31% base rate, the positive predictive power is 83%, and the negative predictive power is 82%. So for this test, whatever it is, for the cut score that has the characteristic of false positive rate 5%, true positive rate 54%, when in your sample you see 20% positive scores, the base rate in your sample is actually 31%, not 20%. And a person with the positive score has an 83% chance of faking, and a person with a negative score has an 18% chance of faking. Now let's go back to this PowerPoint I was showing you. This PowerPoint is on my website, richardfrederick.com, and if you go to workshops here, this is a presentation I just did this weekend. Just click PowerPoint. The PDF, the 3 to a slide, you can do there. Well, let's go back here. I think I have another example. Yeah, here we go. So, here's a situation where I have an F score of F greater than 28 or F greater than 27, 28 or higher, has a false positive rate of 4% and a true positive rate of 63.5%. It gives us this TVS, and you can do it graphically or you can look at the actual numbers over here, but if you go to the numbers, it says In my sample, I had 47.5% of the people had an F of 28 or higher. That meant the base rate of feigning was actually 73%, not 48%. When that's true, a positive F score is 98% likely to be faking, but a F score of 27 or lower still has a 50% chance of being faking. Okay, so you take that information like this. Here's a negative F score, and then I'm going to put it on the SIRS. Here's a SIRS TVS, and just assuming the SIRS had a false positive rate of near 0 and a true positive rate of 48%. I take all those F less than 28%, and because I assume the base rate is about 51% here, 1 minus the negative predictive power. Okay, 1 minus the negative predictive power. Then I assume that for my SIRS, 51% of the negative scores are faking, and a positive score on the SIRS still yields a very, very high positive predictive power. And a negative score on the SIRS still about 1/3 chance they're faking. And it's different if you have a positive score on the MMPI, about 97% chance. Faking, 98%. You're already 98% likely to be faking. I mean, what's the advantage of the SIRS at that point? There is none. So here I just show that you put that 98% line. Positive predictive power is 1. The negative predictive power is 3%. So even if you have an F of 27 or higher, a negative SIRS does not reduce the likelihood of faking. I just did a little more than you wanted just to try to tie it together. Happy for you to send me another email. Please do. Good luck with your paper. Don't forget